Man, get your big rusty old ass out the people's house.
See, that's the problem right there. That's the problem. Black people be ready to kick their kids out the house.
Yeah, 18.
Why?
18,
Why?
1830. Your 18th birthday, you got 30 days.
But you just said that the world, you know how the world is. Mm-hmm. If I love you, why am I gonna send you out there to that and I know you're not ready?
30 isn't. I don't know. I'm about to be 29 this year.
I just
feel like I'm still so young that 30 doesn't seem like such a crazy age for you to let your kids.
I think for women, it's not that much.
Exactly. I think that there's a different standard for female children versus male children.
Absolutely.
I don't know. My parents wouldn't kick me out the house. I mean, I left at 17 because I went to school, and I was literally gone for years.
And a lot of time, that's how it happens for people. They go away to school, and sometimes they never come back. Sometimes they do the continuing education out wherever they went to school at, and they, find life out there.
Well, see how much fun it is.
A lot of the times that happens.
I think it's going to change more towards 30 now with like the economy, where you actually have to help your parents, and you need multiple incomes in the house to actually survive.
Oh, child. I thought that I would be ready to move out of my house at like early 20s. I thought that I was going to finish college and be like, well, I'm finding a place. But then I was like, wow.
All these bills.
It's like $3 million to get a one-bedroom apartment.
How much it costs.
Right.
And mind you, that was like, what, 2019? Today is so much worse. Yes, and my grandmother lives down there.
You said down there.
But so I don't know.
It's like it's a two-family house. So, like she's saying basement, but it's just a house that's down there.
So if your grandma wasn't there, I could see it being normal for you living there. Yeah, for you to go there and then you to contribute that way.
Is she paying rent?
I'm pretty sure she throws a little something.
She got 5 on it.
Yeah, right. Tell your parents you can throw more on it.
If you moved
I don't be asking her business.
Think they'll be asking you for rent if she moved out and you went down there?
I'm pretty sure. Just like how my she probably gives them a little something. I'm pretty sure they'll expect any one of us to give them a little something.
Yeah. I just think it's crazy.
I mean, we all working.
For a man, you're 26 years old, you're dating someone, and hey, so where you live at? With my parents.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna go far with that woman.
I don't know. I
don't think you're gonna go that far. Not a woman that looking forward to being with somebody has stability. She might see that as an instability. You're not stable enough that at 26, 27, 28, 26, 27, 28.
No, 26.
We saying to 30, right? Are we saying to 30?
Yeah. Right. But I feel like in this economy, in this day and age, we're all so understanding of people's situations, why you don't have your own place right now. Like, if you're 26 and still living with your parents, I don't think anybody is...
That's a man.
Yes, yeah. I don't think that anybody is, like, rolling their eyes at a man because he's still living with his parents at 26.
Wait, so you would date a man that's 30 that lived at home?
I'm glad you said it.
I would.
Yeah.
Oh, it's shocking to my ears. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing.
I don't know. I would. So this is my thing. We all... and I think you mentioned it. There's an increase in multi-generational living now simply because of the economy. And, it makes more sense to have everybody sort of chipping in something and also being able to save and, stack your bread so that when you leave, you don't have to return. And a lot of times what I've seen, like more so among family, if people jumped off the porch at 17, 18, a lot of times you end up coming back because you've had to learn the hard way. If you don't already know about credit, how to manage your credit, if you don't already know how to budget, if you don't already know how to cook, you eating out every day. So now your money is just going down the drain. So I think if you are not properly trained to live as an adult, you're gonna bump your head a lot and you're gonna end up coming home. And I think most parents are generally okay, with their kids coming home for a certain amount of time, not forever, obviously, but I think it's easier just to stay at home a few more years, figure things out, stack some bread, give your parents some money, put some on the...
And that's usually what happens.
Yeah.
Guys, especially between 25, 30, they're always throwing their mom some bread for the rent.
You also live in the city, though, too. I don't know if that's the same in the suburbs. I can understand New York where it's super expensive.
But the burbs are expensive, too. Like, think about
Like if you got a good job, like why I'm gonna be rolling my eyes at you for living with your parents? Like I'm living with my parents too. Who I'm gonna be rolling my eyes at?
y'all better go get a room.
First of all, if you got a good job, you working, you getting your credit up, you fixing that debt, you doing whatever you need to do while you still living at home with your mama, that's okay for me because one, I'm doing the same thing at my parents' house. And if we are gonna be dating and we are gonna get together and we are planning a future, we bring all of those things together and then we could get our own place. And to be honest, just in this economy, I feel like that's what's going to happen for me. I don't think that I'm moving out and getting my own apartment or anything like that. Listen, when I find that man, we're getting a house. Like, and that's just
I don't see
it.
nothing wrong with it. And so I also think that because like you're older, I think that you have a different.
Whoa.
I think it's a different.
I don't know what you talking about here. Older.
Dang.
Not only older, but we're also men. So
Like, can I just be mature?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're seasoned.
We back.
season,
right.
yeah, season.
I get where it's
You're not
different.
more mature than me.
I get where it's different from
You're
men.
the one living in your parents' house. Okay.
No, you're very immature, Dave. I'm just saying.
I choose to
But go
be when
ahead.
I want to.
Most days.
Inner child comes and starts expressing itself.
I don't know. I'm okay with a man living at home like until
I just don't know how I'm hearing two women at the same panel saying the same thing. I'm shocked. I am
I
shocked.
usually do though.
Well, it's I could be receptive to the
Unless
woman
Jada's
part
here.
because for a man, it might be a little. For me personally, it would be okay for me because if I'm seeing you and I'm dating you and I fall in love with you, then I could take you out from that nest and say, hey, come with me. I got you. You know, you're okay. You're safe under my roof now, and come with me. And I never seen a woman say, you're 28 and you with your parents. I love you anyway, baby. It's
But
all
I
right."
also do think that goes to Erin's point that maybe at 30, you're 30 years old, you guys were able to do a lot more. My mom, she was living on her own before my father in her early 20s. Like she got married at 23, 24, and they got their first house by 25. Like they were able to do all of these things.
So we're talking about generation and the economic.
Yeah, like it was
changing,
so
I get
much
it.
This is
different
not a
back then.
possibility today.
Exactly.
But I think
So
what
I
he's
understand
saying,
that you're thinking that like,
Yeah.
damn, at 30, a girl would have been like rolling her eyes, or she would have not dated you if you were still 28. And
Well, I know a lot of these girls running around here now that feel that way. What are you talking about?
today,
Yeah.
I don't know.
They ain't
I
got no
don't know.
damn sense.
Yeah.
We're not even finna bring them into the conversation.
I can find something good. Hell
Facts.
no.
yeah, studios were like $600 or $700, maybe $750.
Yeah, I was about to say studios are
furnished
going
room.
more than that.
Wait, how long ago?
$125 for a furnished room
2000.
a week.
2000. Yeah, we're in 2026, so like I want to say 2002 maybe.
$600 for
600 or
Decent
7
studio.
or decent studio, and I mean like a starter studio.
I don't know. The studio is like no walls, right?
Open space.
It's an open
Doesn't have to
space.
be
And you
walls,
got your kitchen, living room, bedroom.
One open space.
There's no dividers.
Does
I
the
guess.
bathroom have a door?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But there's like, I guess you can, from your bedroom, you
concept.
can look at the kitchen.
Yeah, and it's not big. It's
They
just
might have a half a wall
Mhm.
with some studios.
Okay.
You won't get like a door and a whole privacy.
I mean, if early 20s, that's sensible, I
Yeah.
guess. You know, you don't need a bunch of space. You ain't got shit.
College graduates aren't even getting jobs right now. So
If you're a parent these days and you still on that kick your kids out at 18, man, you don't even love them kids. I just don't see how you believe that they are making enough money, that they have enough sense, and that they're able to go out into the world and afford the basics. Basics meaning shelter, a car. You need something. I mean, unless you live in a place like New York where you don't necessarily need a car, but like, let's say in Houston, you gotta have a car. It's a driving city. We have a bus, you know, and some people ride the bus, but they're not trying to stay on the bus. They want to get a car. So house, car, you gotta have Wi-Fi. You gotta have gas, water, electricity. You need a cell phone.
You don't even know that you need to pay for. Because I didn't know that you need to pay for Wi-Fi.
What?
I did not know that.
Until when?
Like last week.
They have telethons for people like
There's this girl on TikTok. She's very funny and she's like a storyteller. And she had mentioned that her phone be going out and she was just like, excuse me, I can't use my phone until I get into an establishment and use their Wi-Fi.
That's true.
Because and then I'm like, what are you talking about?
Wait, so where do you think the Wi-Fi, like where was it coming from?
The house.
Wait, are you saying why? I'm talking about Wi-Fi at the house. That's what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah, I think she's talking about the same thing that you're talking about.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
though. I
so,
have a
like-
friend that got an iPad and he don't got no phone plan. The iPad is his phone. So every time he goes to locations where Wi-Fi kicks in, then he can talk to you.
Right.
Call 'em.
And I just realized, no, I didn't just realize this, but I'm paying for that on my phone bill. And I got to tell them to take that off before my next phone bill. They take my money
take the Wi-Fi off?
off my iPad because I don't use my iPad outside. I strictly
Oh, yeah,
only
you
use my iPad in my house.
You definitely.
So I don't need to be paying for that.
How much is it? Like $3?
No,
it's
probably like
not.
15, 20.
No,
I
it's
was gonna say it's gotta be at least 15.
no.
It's not
I
expensive.
my iPad is 20 and my sister's iPad is 30. We both on the same bill. So $50 comes out of
Oh,
from
no.
the phone bill.
Mm.
And she don't even use her
Want
iPad
tissue?
at all.
You need tissue?
She doesn't use her iPad at all. I use mine, but in the house.
What you've been doing.
Hefty.
It's allergies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if I can get $50 off my phone bill, I need to call T-Mobile before the 11th.
You see, I don't do that. I realized though. Have you ever thought this? Like, when I start cutting back from things, if I have to start thinking that way, I feel like I damage the frequency that I put myself on. You know, like I realized when I moved to Jersey and I moved to Edgewater, everybody over there was doing great. You know what I'm saying? You have to be like at a certain status. You got to make at least 100,000, 150,000 plus to live over there. So when I started living there, everybody was telling me, hey, you got to do what you got to do. So it put me smacked in a ready. If I was here and they were here, it put me automatically here. So now I had to figure it out. You know, so, and I'm still there 16 years later. So I feel like I never want to cut and think about in my mind and say, damn, maybe if I cut a little here and I cut a little there, I could save me a little $100, $150. I feel like I would damage that frequency and change and alter it, and then I'm going to make life harder for me. So I never changed anything, and I feel like I'm still always elevating because I feel like it comes to a point that you are manifesting your reality, and if you start thinking a certain way, your life starts becoming that in time, and you start living that way that you're thinking or you're concerned about or you're feeling. That's why I like the home to 30. I think at some point there's a conversation where you got to have with these kids to make them feel comfortable about you can do it. You can get out of here at 25, you know, because if you're always going to say, hey, stay here as long as you want, are you really helping them to manifest, to grow, or you babying them and you're nurturing them to stay as long as they want and they feel like they can't fuck up and they can't, you know, just live off you to a certain thing because they always feel protected instead of like, no, you can do it because I'm doing it. You know,
I don't think that it's the babying, but it's also not putting pressure on them to feel like they have to accomplish something by a certain age. Because like we mentioned, in this economy, it's not that easy. But also, sometimes it's not that easy to get a job out of college. You got a degree for something, and now you're trying to get in that field, and sometimes it's not as easy. So you're not making the kind of money that you expected to make at 25.
I see that.
It's getting a little harder.
I think what you're talking about was like you adapted to that lifestyle.
Yes.
And I think our generation, like our biggest issue or our challenge is unlearning like what we grew up with. Because she's talking about Wi-Fi and like how much it costs. But I know
Not knowing Wi-Fi.
yeah, right. But like, I know like if you have a child, you're still saying like, hey, when I was your age or by the time you're 25, you should have A, B, and C. But it's no longer that. And I think we're kind of like stuck in a time capsule. And that's like the biggest challenge of
Kind
being
of can't
older.
put your experiences on other people because it might not be the same.
It's
But
not the
it's
same.
definitely not
Yeah.
going to be
Yeah.
the same. Even what we're talking about, we don't know that if that's going to apply to the generation to come.
But you know what? So Dave, I actually agree with what you're saying, but that actually takes a parent training their child
From the
when
beginning.
they're like as a kid, you know, and then like, hey, when you turn 18, if you're not going to school or if you don't have a job, I can understand if a parent say you got to get up out of here if you don't have a job and you're not going to school, because what are you doing all day?
That's even worse though.
Yeah, but that's
Like if
that's
she's not
really-
working and you're not going to school, you throw her out. Like what are you saying? Go be a drug dealer.
No,
Figure it out.
That's not
you
what
know?
I'm saying. Like that, if you know,
You're a
that-
stripper.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. But like, if you know that what your parents' expectations are, then I think that you have to adjust. If you know your parents said, "Hey, we'll support you. You can stay here, X, Y, and Z," but you gotta either be in school or you gotta have a job. And if you got a job, you need to be. I want to see your statements every month. How much are you saving? You know, like you have to train them so that when they leave the house, they don't come back. And so that when they leave the house, they're stable. They don't have the damn, man, I might have to go back home. You know, and so I get the frequency thing, and I think if you've trained them, the frequency is gonna go up.
It applies.
Because the expectation is there. If you already have the mindset of like, I make this much, my budget is X, like, and if you want to go out to eat and your budget allows it, go out and have the ribeye. Go out and have the filet. You know what I mean? But don't be out here not having a plan, not having a budget, not having you know, what's already going on in your financial situation, and you just going out to eat. And you know, like, oh, let me get the chicken instead of the steak. But like, why are you even going out in the first place? Like, go home and make you some chicken and
Noodles.
some vegetables, or you know.
But Dave is talking about metaphysics, and I appreciate that. But when you're talking about metaphysics,
That's a different level of thinking altogether. That's not something.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's how this simulation's working.
Great. Yeah, it is great. But when you're talking about metaphysics and thinking and processing, it takes a level of practice to get to that point. If you're talking about a person who's saying to their child, for whatever reason, nothing behind it, like, you got to be out at 18, there's a mentality typically surrounding that, and it's not about abundance. Okay, I said it's not about abundance.
What would be the name of that mental thought process?
I said it's not coming from a place of abundance, because it's thinking,
Stereotyping now.
it's a scarcity
I know.
mindset where
Bunch of
it's
minorities.
like, you gotta
What is
get
this?
Yeah, no, don't do that. Because it's like you gotta get
Everybody's in the
whatever.
comment gonna be like,
Rich
you know what, Alan?
Yeah,
That's why he ain't got no microphone.
Well, and understandably so, you know, the parents are behind the goalpost just because the system has created where the father and the mother's working all day. So when do you really have time to really nurture your child correctly with appropriate information? You know, when you have the time to research and read and come to some type of knowledge where you could sit down when you come home and have the time to tell your kid, hey, this is what's going on in the world. My generation did this. I see your generation doing that. And if we put that together, this is where it looks like we're heading. They don't got time. They get home and you bother them. They might slap the shit out of you. You know, they frustrated with their job. They want to kill the coworker. You know, they want to strangle the boss and you don't have time.
Kids don't want to hear it.
No,
And that's even
No,
worse.
I'm
So get out
saying
at 18.
There's
Yeah, you do.
whenever there's a moment of silence and my father opens his mouth, we be like, oh,
there's
God.
a difference between
To start with Once Upon a
lecturing,
Time?
though. That's not okay. There's a difference between lecturing because you can't handle silence and teaching.
Nurturing.
Yeah, that's not the same thing. Do you see what I'm saying? And what you're talking about is there's a great saying. It's hard to be creative when there's a lion chasing you. So when you have bills and things and stress, you don't have the time to be so nurturing and caring. You can't be creative. You can't really teach your kids because you got everybody's foot on your neck and you got the bills to pay. It's a different mentality to say, you know, let's talk about metaphysics. Like,
So then, what's the balance then? Like,
I think we need to move away from. Okay, first of all, what is the issue? They have to get out at 18. Why? What do you need with that space? I need to know.
That's true.
What do you need? Is there a sewing room that's going in there? Is there a gym?
But what if they just want to run around naked, the husband and wife?
It's not that deep.
yeah.
It's not that deep.
I've seen shows
I need to
about
know, why do these kids got to move out at 18? What do you need to do with that space?
this. Well, I don't think 18 is the number. You know, if 18 is the number, I don't care that it's 22,
No, I
24,
know, but like,
25,
why?
and I mean 30. It's
30
like
is a stretch, and
Okay, 30 might be a stretch, but I need to understand the mentality of like, you need to be out my house by 18. Why?
What if it's a downsizing thing? Maybe say that's the mentality.
That's
like, hey,
fair.
we have a 3-bedroom and it's just me and your mother. We could really just use a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom, and we've priced it out, and it's
We
just
can't reframe
They're
that.
not using metaphysics now.
No, I know, but we can't reframe that. Like, hey, looks like you're 18 now. You're graduating high school. You're gonna enter the job market, right? We would like to move into a 2-bedroom, but can you contribute? You're gonna be going into you can figure out ways. You don't.
That's how most men end up giving money towards rent.
Figure out why
once they
do
get of
kids gotta
age.
get out.
Well, how do you save
they
though? Really, if
going?
you got to give some money up to get out finally, if you're always giving $500,
If you $500,
It's just-
that's
If you
gonna
jump
kill you.
off the porch, your bill's finna be $2,500.
Well, I'm just saying, $500 in a year times that 500 times 12. You know,
6,000.
that 6,000 goes to down payment to get your apartment if you don't give it no
but
money.
You're working.
Exactly.
No, I
if
get
you're
it.
working, you have a good job. You don't have to pay $3,000 in rent. Let's say 25, because $3,000 that's pretty accurate. But I'm gonna say 25. You don't have to pay $2,500 in rent. You just got to throw your mom $500.
Because they still got to have water, lights, gas, internet, like all these things. So they're going to make sure that the home has it.
Mm-hmm.
But like you just finna sit around and do nothing, and you just
Well, hold on.
spending
How
all
about
your money?
Now, I'm hearing this, and the only thing that came to my mind is so. How about these women that want to live with a man and they don't want to give absolutely shit? Why they not giving $500?
I mean, that's you. But whose situation is that?
I'm just saying.
No,
this.
the men would be the
Are we
parents.
gonna pretend that that's not happening?
No, I'm agreeing with you. So again, they're enabling that behavior just like a parent would be enabling their kid by coddling them and letting them just be at the house and they not contributing in any way. Let's just say your parents are like, you know what, you don't have to pay no rent or nothing, but this house needs to be clean. So the money we spend a month on a cleaner, you're gonna do that. The money that I spend on getting me and your daddy car washed on the weekends, you're gonna do that.
Right.
Like you have to contribute meaningfully somehow. I think there's a way, and it may not be the $500 a month. You know
What if they say, yo, you're 18, we're giving you to 23, you don't gotta give us no money. You're working now at 18, you're in the job market, you got these few years to save all your money, so then you could get the hell out.
I think that's a great idea. I think that's
I
very
think that's a
fair.
balance. You give them time. Like, we don't want nothing. We're going to do everything. Because that's how I feel like when I'm in a relationship and a woman lives with me. I don't want nothing. You know what I'm saying? Save your money. Do what you got to do and this and that. And if something goes left in the future, don't ask me for shit.
Yeah.
You didn't spend no money. Now get the fuck out at this point. You know what I'm saying?
But Dave, do you think that do you think that generally speaking, most people have that discipline in this day and age?
No.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. So
And the women that were the women that were living with you, were they saving money?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Not only that,
I
was
mean,
saving
it's a
money.
complete save if
Then
to
I was
live with
giving
a
them
man
work.
and you don't have to contribute
Chicks was-
anything. Why are you turning sideways? How the hell you know what they doing with their fucking money?
Alan.
You living rent free with someone that's not asking you for anything.
Right.
You can use that money for anything. You can use it leisurely. You can use it on your down payment for your next car. You're using that money because you don't got to spend on rent right now.
You're thinking in absolute logic right now, though. That's what he's saying.
No, but that goes back to discipline. Like, but I think Dave actually set it up. He's saying if they're living with me, hey, I'm letting you know you ain't got to pay nothing, but if you should be saving somehow so that you have a cushion or a nest egg or something.
Is
so
that
if
part of the conversation? I'm sorry.
He just
I feel
said
like
it.
Dave says, like, if it goes left, just know.
That's on you.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I feel like they will take him seriously.
Yeah.
He just said it works.
How do I know what they're gonna use their extra money on bags? You know that for sure. First of all, during the pandemic, yes, I bought myself some heels in every fucking color because I was stuck at home. I don't have nothing to do, and I don't have heels in every single color. So let me do that. So just
But you ain't got nowhere to go.
That's what I.
right now,
Especially in New
She's
York.
home in the
was
river like
shut
this.
down.
right now. But when it's time,
outfit.
I got a black shoe, I got a white shoe, I got a gold shoe. I got everything. I'm good. But you know what? I also bought my car at the end of 2020.
Okay.
Most money I've ever saved in my fucking life.
Okay.
We'll clap for that.
Yeah.
Did you pay it off?
Yes. Oh, paid off.
That's right, girl.
And I didn't even use all of it.
Click that.
I still had money
Right,
in my savings.
Oh, but see, that's the thing.
And my dad was
You did it
so
right.
he was so shocked. First of all, I didn't even need his.
He was like, I still didn't pay on my car.
I always thought that I needed my dad's help to buy a car because the car that I had, I was sharing with my sister. He got it for us and we were sharing, but I knew I wanted my own shit. So I said, I saw this car. I already knew what car I wanted. I was just looking to see what dealership had it for the best price. I said, I saw this car. It's in Jersey. Or did we go to Jersey? Yes, it's in Jersey. I want to go get it. And he's like, okay, how much is it? And I said, it's blah, blah, blah. He's like, okay, well, how much money do you have for it? And I'm like, I have $18,000.
It was a used car or new car?
No, it's a used car. And he was like, you have $18,000? I'm
He
like,
started
yeah.
calculating. You owe me.
Exactly.
He like,
You owe
he
me
could not
17,000, so you really have 1,000.
No, yeah, because honestly, my dad, he used to like pocket watch me a lot, that man.
Did he feel like you owed him?
No. It was because I was always going out. And that used to be my thing. I would never like go and like be like a partier or like go to clubs or whatever, but I was always out to eat with my friends. Bye guys, I'm going out to eat. And he was just like, you have money to go out to eat all the time, twice, 2-3 times a week.
It's expensive.
And I'm like, yeah. Like, why are you asking me that? And I remember that annoyed me so much because like I work here and I have my own business. Why do you think that I don't have, and maybe it wasn't that he didn't think that I had the money. It was that he thought I was wasting my money going out so much. So he was definitely very surprised when I told him that I saved that much money for my car.
But see, that goes to what we're saying. Like, you knew you wanted a car.
Discipline.
Yeah, you had the discipline to figure it out and find the car, see how much money you needed, so on and so forth. But again, that's a part of like your parents training you, you know, and
But that's why this works. Being home.
oh, I agree.
I agree too.
Yeah.
How many kids are disciplined like you? And or just they being a pain in the ass to the mother and father.
Yeah, but how did you get there?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
here's the thing. Parents will be like, you got to be out at 18 and have not thoroughly invested in those children.
Yep.
If you're going to say you need to be out at 18, show me the ROI on your investment. That is your
I
child.
was about to ask you about R&I, but then I remember it was return on investment. So
You
I was
know what
like,
I mean?
I do
Like-
not want to go to that school that Amanda went to. They're doing the telethon for with the Wi-Fi.
First of all, don't you have a business? You should know what that means.
Well, that's why I shut up and I figured it out. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So
That
moral
doesn't
story
always
is
make
don't kick
sense.
them out.
Yeah, don't.
Don't
Please
kick them
stop.
out.
I think that's gonna. At this point, I don't think that there's a choice.
Oh, now.
Yeah.
for
I think you
sure.
have way less choices as far as like kicking your kids out, especially if you.
Unless you a sorry ass parent. Like
Well, that's different. You saw
that guy's mom
Yeah.
from last week.
You know, that's different. That's totally different. But I mean, at this point, I don't know, man. Don't kick your kids.
Like, what
out.
are you doing?
Yeah, but if they gotta leave, let's hope that you've put the time into like training them and making sure that they can actually go out and get a job. That you know that they can go out and buy a car because they've been, you know, working on their credit and so on and so forth. Like, you can't just throw somebody out there and be like, oh, figure it out, nigga.
Any people? I don't know.
Yeah, you're exaggerating a little.
That might be an exaggeration.
Flintstones.
They at the house eating John. I guess just considering cost of everything today, like how much do y'all really think it costs to be a single person out on your own? You're not living luxury. You got a regular car like a Corolla or an Accord or, you know, very regular.
Do you have a roommate?
No, she said by
Do
yourself.
people, well,
She said
that's
by
a good
yourself.
idea. Do people have roommates these days?
Yeah, I got a roommate.
Yes. Yes.
My roommate's 50 something. I see him once every few months too.
What is he? He's like for work. He
You
travels.
guys have like shared spaces, shared
He's
kitchen.
got his room. I got my room, living room, kitchen.
Yeah,
I'm
I
always at my
personally
girl's
can't
house
do that.
anyway, so it's
I
beautiful.
mean, that
thing.
works out perfectly for
Yeah.
you. I don't know. I feel like roommates. I don't know if people still have roommates. I know, like when I was younger, huh? So for a woman, I feel like women are gonna be more concerned with safety.
calculating.
You know, living
Yeah,
somewhere.
I know women with female roommates.
Yeah.
2 bedrooms because again, it's expensive. We also live in the tri-state area, so it's super expensive over here. So
Yeah.
it's not
Say
even
that.
how you have a 2-bedroom and you're a single person. You're crazy.
Yeah.
Why would you have that?
Private living, there's certain, my nephew lives in Brooklyn, one of those high rises, and he's got a roommate. And when he told me what he's spending, what he's paying like
For his
$2,800 for his half, it's like, my man. And he's like 33. I'm like, you can have a 1-bedroom apartment somewhere and live by yourself. Why would you want to spend?
Can he?
He
In Brooklyn?
can.
Not in Brooklyn.
No, he
In
can. He
Jersey.
can. There's neighborhoods. If you, he's like, because he wants to stay in that luxury building because they got a bowling alley, they got this and
Thing.
you know,
How much
I
time to go to that bowling alley?
Never.
I mean, I
All
think
of them amenities, they look nice, but do you use them?
I would
He
use,
uses
I would
them.
use every single
Yeah.
one of them
They
every
got free
day.
coffee, baby. I'm there every
Yeah.
day with my robe on and my house shoes. They be
I
like,
just-
Aaron
I
ass
just can't
always
do the
down
roommate
here.
thing.
Luxury
I can't.
buildings, they be coming with content rooms now.
They don't come with anything. You pay for content.
Okay,
rooms.
okay.
That's what you're paying.
There's
for.
content
included.
rooms in the building.
Yeah.
and they have Wi-Fi.
Yep.
So I came across something this week that was like real interesting to me, and I think it's silly. It's a but it's like a.
Loving it.
It was
saw
for
that content room in
it was for like married people though. So can I just direct this to y'all?
Sure.
All right, cool. So this is the clip.
That couch, that side of the couch.
So this says Chanel and Chris attempt the Don't React couple challenge, and it takes an unexpected twist. So basically, she says something, and that's been on her mind, and he can't react. And so he says something in reaction too, but it just gets nasty and ugly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It sounds
So
like they're trying to be brutally honest with
Mean
each
to
other.
each other?
This was something that
Honest, not mean.
This is something that she proposed, and he was like, "We'll play if you want," knowing that she'll get her feelings hurt.
Okay.
So,
I wouldn't even do this.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But y'all don't do that in like a relationship. I don't see like why this happened, but apparently it happened somewhere.
Well, apparently it's a trend.
Yeah, that's what I
That's
mean.
why.
Oh, don't be bringing
This
that
don't-
trend around.
yeah,
me.
yeah.
I mean, and I'm only saying that because I know me. You know, I wouldn't have even initiated or asked to do such a thing.
Mhm.
But you say the wrong thing, I'm going to hell. Like I'm not. There's no like middle ground. You know, because like if I say your feet ashy all the time, you know that because I've said it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or like you're slovenly. You know, like you know that because I've said it. Like so I would have to go like to the depths of like really to say something hurtful.
Yeah.
And I just wouldn't want to put that spirit on my
That doesn't seem
relationship.
healthy.
Yeah, why they do that?
Well,
Like I think you can
again,
create,
she proposed it.
She's an idiot gal.
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with creating a space in your relationship where you guys can tell each other the truth, right?
Mm.
And you have to create that space. And people always think you have to be mean to tell the truth. You don't have to be mean to tell the truth. You know how people be like, "Well, I just tell it how it is."
Yeah, I hate those kind of
Like-
people. No, you're just mean.
Yeah, you're
That's
just,
actually a meme.
you're
You
just
ever see
being
that?
a mean person. You can create a space where you're saying how you feel. You don't need a trend to do that. Like that's just mean vibe. Because like because
That's
now
their
my
excuse.
ego is hurt.
That's
now
their
I'm
excuse
hurt,
to do it.
and tension is high. You just hurt my feelings. I want to hurt your feelings, and we're going back and forth.
So what's the
and-
right what?
And
Give
now
me an
there's
example.
this
What's the
quiet tension
right
for
way?
the
Do
rest
you
of the day.
do you light candles and
Don't talk to
say,
me.
babe, come here, sit down. You
No,
make
no,
dinner.
it's
You
not-
say, hey, babe, your breath be smelling like shit. I picked your favorite meal, the candles, and we got the ambiance. But your breath, wow, like ass. Like I just make an example.
I
Like
think
how? What's the nice
right way is, hey, when was your last dentist appointment?
Oh,
There's a
No,
way.
you
I'm
don't
like,
have
did you
to-
scrape
No.
your tongue?
No,
Yeah. Are you
that's
using copper?
passive-aggressive. That's
Yeah, no.
That's
Yeah.
passive aggressive because you're just being like, hey, no, you need to be direct. Like
okay, so that's
You
what I'm
see
saying.
what
Give me
I'm
the
saying?
example.
it's just creating the space. And see, you're thinking like you have to set an atmosphere in your relationship. The moment you decide this is the person I'm going to be with, that means that's the person you're going to fight to be with.
You can
And
simply
that's
say
going
like,
to be having uncomfortable conversations. Like people are afraid to have those
Ooh,
feelings
Lord.
because you're thinking like, how am I going to get out of it? But you're going to get to the other side. That's what you call building resiliency. You thinking like, oh, I'm going to have this hard conversation and you are going to be uncomfortable. Your heart might race. It might be uncomfortable, right? Do that 10 times. It becomes easier, but you got to be okay doing it the first time and don't be passive aggressive and say, hey, when was your last dentist appointment? You can say, hey, babe, your breath is like
ass.
You see, that's
mean. You could say, hey, you might have a cavity because your breath is smelling.
That's passive aggressive.
No, you might have a cavity.
No, see, you can just like, babe, your breath doesn't smell good.
Right.
Like when you're sleeping or when
you
you're
might have a
talking to me,
cavity.
when you just came into my face, babe, I smelled your breath. What's going on?
You could say, I ate your ass. That's why it
I
smells
knew
like
you was
that.
gonna say that. I knew you was gonna
See?
say
And
that.
that's when the
And then now she's like, fuck
Told
you, not
you.
my ass.
Immature. I told you.
And then y'all going
No,
back and forth.
I knew you was gonna say that.
I just fucking around. What was you gonna say?
I don't know.
Oh, you forgot?
You got a
Just-
cavity.
It keeps you young. Having a childlike archetype.
He said
Young.
I like
what?
white women better
Archetype.
than black women.
You heard me.
That's when she started. Yeah, that's when she started getting
Is he
tight.
white?
No, they're
No.
both black.
Both black.
Oh.
And that just reminded me of last week I went to hey son. Last week I went out very quick to this bar.
See, always out to
Always
eat,
out.
like your daddy said.
Always out.
Spend
It was
up
a
all
bar.
your money.
It was a bar, and I was just passing through. One drink, and I'm like, all right, then I'm out of here. Once this,
$25, New York.
I was no, it was paid for
More.
already. So I was like, I'm about to just pull up, get this drink, and as soon as this drink is done, I'm out of here.
Fair enough.
This man and he was, I don't know, he was very strange.
The guy who got you the drink.
No. This
Oh.
guy that walked up to me as I'm drinking my drink.
Mm.
I was with a friend and he just came and he hovered over us instead of like saying like hi, like announcing himself. It took for us to like be like
Hello.
for him to say something. So he was already giving us very like
Weird
awkward,
vibes, yeah.
yes, creep vibes. And he started asking very weird questions and he kept repeating the questions, which made me think that he might be on the spectrum. But then he says to me, well, are you even into black guys? And I said, well, wait a minute. What about me? Okay, what did he ask before? First of all, he asked me if me and my friend were together. That was one. And I kept asking him, like, what do you mean by that? Because we were like, yeah, we came here together. And he was just like, are you guys together? And I wanted him to clarify, but
know
he
what he
kept
meant.
saying the same thing. He said like this, actually. He said like,
The DMX
Bronx?
song.
Wakanda?
Yeah.
The Bronx?
but I knew what he meant trying to do that. So
Oh.
I was like, what about us made you ask that?
Yeah.
You know, I said, are we standing too close to each other? Like, let me know what we're doing so that we could not do it. Then he said, you look like a lawyer. Like, you seem like a lawyer. Are you a lawyer? I said, what would make you ask that?
So she thought it was you.
He's like, oh, all of the questions that you're asking, because I keep asking him to like clarify himself, like, what do you mean, blah, blah, blah. Like, and he thought that I'm like asking him too much. So he's like, you seem like a lawyer. Like, I was like, is that what you think? That's what I'm giving? Now, first I'm a lesbian, now I'm a lawyer? And
it was
then,
a girl you was with.
yes, I was with a
And
girl.
she got you the drink.
No.
No.
Another man got me
Yeah,
the
I was
drink.
wondering. I wanted to get to who paid for the drink.
You just wanted to know who got me the drink.
Of course I do. That's why I'm asking. See?
Anyways, so he
That passive
he
aggressive.
gets to asking me if I even like black men. So I'm like, okay, now, sir, why? I said, because actually, he's like, I didn't mean to offend you. I said, I am.
He's awkward.
I didn't care about the lesbian. I didn't care about the lawyer. It was pretty funny, but I'm like, why would you even ask me that? Do I look like the type of bitch that will just come up in
Because no, he's really asking, do you like me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it.
That's really what he's trying to ask.
And because you weren't like maybe engaging, like I guess in the way he wanted, perhaps.
And he's got to protect his
Was he a
ego
black man?
still and be
Yes.
like,
And,
he was very tall.
and he might have thought you
awkward.
was a lesbian and didn't like.
because
oh.
if
we
you
got past that.
because if you said no, then he could be like, okay, it's not me.
Yeah.
I'm still okay. He was really just asking you that.
Oh, you didn't get that?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
He asked me very awkward questions
Poor baby.
leading up to that. My friend would tell you the complete opposite because she kept saying, Amanda, why are you still talking to this
Yeah, that's
man?
what I was wondering. Why
Why are you still talking to this man? And I'm like, okay, well, he didn't, like, he not, I don't want to say he wasn't bothering me. Yes, I would have rather enjoyed my drink without you talking to me. But I'm like, he's harmless. So, like,
Maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
you don't know.
What does
but
this
I don't
have to do
know.
with
I
the
feel
game?
like
Amanda, that's
that
got to do with the game.
I was going
because
to go there next.
because the man said that he likes white women better than
Okay.
black women.
Oh, reminded
And
you.
I think that that's not something that you tell a black woman.
No, I think he was.
I think
he was
that
going
it's
for the jugular.
Also very offensive to black people.
No, I think he was going for the jugular when he said that.
Yeah.
You're talking
I
about
know
in the-
because I
in the
was
clip.
saying because when he said that, that's when she started getting tight.
Because you got to keep like you.
You got to one up.
That's a dangerous game. Why would we do this?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I asked. Like, do y'all play these types of
Why
games?
would I do
I
that?
really hope nobody is doing like.
Don't do that.
If you seen this trend, just let that shit go.
End the trend.
Put it like.
And to be
say
honest,
not
I've
interested.
never.
And then you may not have good communication in your relationship already, and you're gonna be like, I'm gonna take the opportunity to unload.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
what
babe,
happens-
play this game with me real quick so I could unload, and then you're not thinking he's gonna unload on you too.
Yeah.
Nigga came for her toes.
Well, how
She
about,
can't change
how about
that?
when a woman? So let's say now you're in the house and your woman gets dressed to go out, and you like her hair straight, and she wears it straight, and she comes with the shit curly and all that, and she comes out and she goes, "Hey, babe, how do you think my hair looks?" At this point, it's like you start hearing like, ch 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 ch. And you say, "Baby, I don't really," and you being honest, you said, "I don't really like your hair like that curly." The fuck, you don't even know about hair anyway. You're not a woman, and this. Why am I even asking you? Well, you asked me, and now we got a problem because I told you the truth that I don't like. So, what is the right space?
Wait, but so
Well,
I think
you-
there's a difference between you have a preference for her hair being a certain way versus
Okay,
like
let's go.
or
Babe,
curly
how you
doesn't
think
look
I look?
good.
Do you think I lost weight? I've been going to the gym. I don't really see it.
Oh,
Because honestly, you're telling her I don't really see. I see you every day, so it won't be the same way. Like if you saw her 2 weeks ago and you
Well,
could
there
see her.
is a better way to say that.
Okay, what's the better way? This one I'm gonna say because
No, but just like how you explained, I see you every day. Just say, well, I see you every day, so I can't really tell, but you probably did, but I can't
I
tell.
don't know. Is that passive aggressive now? If she's saying that.
That's not passive aggressive.
that's
If that's the
accurate.
reason,
Because if you
if
see
that's
her
the
every day, you
reason
probably
that you
can't.
can't tell, just say that.
She
You
probably
can't really
lost
ask
3
me because I see you every
pounds,
day.
and she's excited. You think you're gonna notice 3 pound weight
Yeah,
loss?
I think the best answer is like, absolutely, babe. You look.
No.
What?
No.
See, and then you hold that resentment.
treadmill is
Hold
working.
that resentment, and then you put it in your pocket. There you go. And women do this, and women don't hold accountability, and we gotta lie to women because of this nonsense. Because you don't know how to communicate, and you don't know how to just say, "Hey, babe, you probably did. I see you every day, babe. I didn't notice. Like,
Yeah.
did you lose weight? You stepped on the scale? Yes, babe. I lost 5 pounds.
So what if she thinks now that oh, you don't notice because you're not paying attention to me and you don't really notice these things?
So all I just said,
Mhm.
and you asked the question, why? Did you lose some weight? Yeah, babe, I lost 5 pounds. Now, are you going to notice 5 pounds? No, you're not going to know, especially if you're. No, 15
I
pounds.
think you're gonna notice
You're
that.
gonna notice
Yeah.
15 pounds, bro.
Her
Definitely.
face will probably look
5
thinner.
pounds, you're not gonna necessarily notice it, especially if you see her every day. But
Yeah.
15 pounds, you're gonna notice.
And if you want to win, you say, "Oh, it looked like you lost 10. You look really good."
Or be
So now
like,
we lying. See what
No.
I'm saying?
See, no,
or
he
you
said, if you really want to win, now you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
just to avoid this, say, do progress reports maybe once a month so that we could really tell.
Dude,
So,
it's
you
not
know,
or you
hard.
could just be like, okay, string bean.
You said string.
I'm just saying, like, you saying you lost it, so shit, apparently you lost it. All right,
The whole
string
point of
bean.
the conversation I thought was like, what's the right space where both? Because for a woman telling me something, I don't get offended like that. She, hey, you get in the belly,
you
babe.
play like that.
Why do people hold on? Why do
I say slick
people-
shit like to have my dick. That's why I got a belly. You know what I'm saying? I say slick shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't take it offensively. I like the honesty. I'd rather you tell me like, hey, you're getting fucking fat ass.
Okay,
I'll be
but
like,
that's you. Why do
Yeah, Dave. Yeah.
Nobody
I have
talks
to go
like
to this
that.
gym.
people expect? Why do people expect?
I'm not, you're not gonna be like me. Yes, I get
Right?
it.
Why would you expect me to be like you?
Yeah.
Okay, and I would look forward that if you're gonna call me a fat ass and you come saying, babe, did I lose weight? You're still a fat ass.
No, that's what you would expect.
Well, I mean,
Now, you should be
she's
saying,
being
"Hey,
gangster.
what would I expect?" And I would
I
be
don't
like,
expect nothing.
"No, Dave, I know you don't expect nothing." But what I'm saying, people will always expect like me to be like you. I'm not like you.
Right, that's a fact.
Right. So if you want me to be that abrasive and harsh with you, that's great. And it lands, fine. That doesn't land with me and it doesn't work for me. So please don't approach me that way.
Right.
Because you have to know, you have
know
to
what
make
I mean?
your message consumable for the person consuming it.
Okay. Go.
The very
You
Oh,
don't
it's
know
my
the
turn?
jingle?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Asking Amanda, here we go. Asking Amanda, here we are.
You need Jada.
I mean, and you got the scratch
Come on,
over
man.
here.
That's for my Bollywood people.
I was about to say, what in the
Bollywood.
Yeah, Bollywood.
You didn't hear the like Indian accent there?
I didn't.
Oh man, I can see the comments for you, bro.
They won't notice.
You better be Indian, bro.
Okay.
Misappropriation.
Hey, Amanda. I need some real advice. I'm 26 and I'm starting to feel like my mom doesn't actually want me to be happy. She's never liked anyone I've dated. Every relationship, she finds something wrong, something negative, something to criticize. And at this point, I'm starting to wonder, is it them or is it her? Part of me feels like she's unhappy in her own life and maybe she doesn't want to see me happy either. Now I'm seeing someone new. We've been dating for about 4 months and this feels different. He's consistent, he shows up for me, and honestly, I think he could be the one. So my question is, do I bring him around and hope for the best? Or do I protect this relationship and keep it separate from my mom?
She know the answer.
Yeah. I'm about to say, what is the point in bringing him around your mom if she always has a negative vibe? Everything is best when you keep it to yourself for as long as you can. When that man asks you to marry him, that's when you bring him home.
Hey, I mean, 4 months, like, you just met this nigga.
Yeah.
Like you guys are still in the process of getting to know each other, essentially. You don't need to bring him around your mom.
Yeah.
Not to say that in a normal relationship that's not normal. It is. But if your mom's got a problem with every single person you've dated, you might just want to keep this one away.
You know what I've noticed?
Especially if you feel like he might be the one, like she said.
I feel like sometimes people that write in and they have these questions, I think they lack the ability to like recognize patterns.
Oh.
And and that's why we'll be like, oh, because usually I have like a off the cuff, like I already know my answer. You know what I mean? They'd be like, oh, in my last 2 relationships or, previously, it's like, are you dumb? Like, do you not see that there's a clear pattern here? Like, if your mom has been an asshole about, like all, even if it has nothing to do with her happiness or whatever, or maybe she's, whatever her situation is. But if she's been sort of negative about the past 3 men you've brought around, like, if you don't want to deal with the drama, like, just don't bring them around. Like, super simple. Like,
I just want to say that how wrong is the mom if you bring in the new guy?
How wrong?
Yeah, how wrong is the mom? If she don't like nobody you brought home, maybe she was right because now you got a new person. None of those people worked.
That's a good point.
So at this point, she might be using her intuition and she's feeling something that's not happening. That she's like, hey, I don't see that. Because for some reason you're breaking up with them and you're bringing somebody else new. And you're breaking up with them. Unless you're going to tell me that the reason why you're breaking up with them is because of her. That's a different conversation. If they don't sound like that. It just sounds like you're bringing people home and she's like, I don't really like Julio. And then she brings somebody, I don't like Rodney. And then you bring somebody else. Right. Now she's got a new person that's 4 months old. So is mom's really wrong here? Because maybe you're the problem. You're not holding on to these men. Your mom's just seeing that. Maybe there's something about you she knows that you up to. There's something going on there because you keep bringing new people there. That means you can't hold on to them.
Can we talk about the mom?
Yeah, we can talk about the moms on you.
Maybe the mom's just not happy with her own life.
That could be true too.
I didn't hear anything about the father. I didn't hear anything about a boyfriend. I hear that I keep bringing her home to my mom. Mom probably need a little piece of herself.
So she wants stuff?
Well, not even
like
that, but
him.
I'm saying
like
she could be
There's
living through her.
missing, yeah.
Like you keep bringing on these new dudes,
That's
and
true.
I don't even have one dude.
Ooh. We
So-
get into the nitty gritty.
That's what I think is going on. Because
I like
Je- wait, so are you saying there's a bit of jealousy there?
absolutely.
I feel like that's what
Maybe.
she's alluding to
Maybe.
as well. She
That's what I-
says that
that's
her
how I read
mom
it.
is unhappy, and I feel like she wants me to be unhappy
With her.
along with her.
Can we write this girl back and find out more details?
Actually, can she send in pictures of the mom? Because she's 26. If the mom is like 42, 45,
Yeah.
see what she holding.
Oh my God.
Wait, 20.
Yeah, this girl is
26.
26.
Yeah, it could be like a young
Mom
mom.
could be 46,
That's what
44.
I'm saying.
Mhm.
Oh.
Hot cougar.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
she
her
could be
mom's
a
life
super
is
MILF.
probably
She's
not.
60. Like, why
Yeah.
y'all gotta?
Well,
Right.
I
Some
mean-
people be having old parents.
Yeah.
Okay. So
60's
now she's a
old.
grumpy old lady.
Yeah, now she's
You
a
know,
grumpy
Or
old
she wants the best for her daughter.
Well, does she take? Okay, so is she taking the time to converse with the individual to know if he's good for her? Like, how does she
Yeah.
know?
Well, they're 4 months in and she feels like he might be the one. I just feel like if it has been a pattern with you in your previous relationships that you bring them around your mom and she never has anything good to say
Good to
about
say.
anything, you figure this out on your own. Maybe a year in, maybe engagement is probably dragging it, but maybe a year in, you bring him around to see what she says. That at that point, you already know how you feel about that person, so that your mom's opinion doesn't matter much. You're just doing it so that they can get acquainted with each other.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. My mom's opinion never mattered to any of the girls I was with.
Did she like him?
Didn't matter.
Well, but even no,
You never asked?
Didn't care.
But even if it didn't matter, like, did she ever like voice it?
Did she give opinions?
Very few.
Mm.
And you know, when I did bring a woman to my mom's, it was only because of circumstances. Like, I was with Erin's my girl, and now I'm driving to my mom's house, and she's with me. I'm not gonna be like, hey, let me drop you off because I'm going to my mom's house. You're coming with me. My mom's gonna meet you at this point. You know what I'm saying, and that's how my mom's met most of the people, because I was spending quality time with them. They were with me. Now my mom said, hey, can you stop by? Okay, I'll stop by. I have company with me. Hey, who's that? You know. It is what it is. She gives, you know, whatever it was, you know. One thing good with my mom's is that I was very forward. Like, my moms knew everything. There was a point where when I ran away from 16, I decided never to lie to my moms.
Mm.
You know, so we had a great relationship. Just, I would tell her everything. You know, she could ask me anything. Like, what do you think about this girl? I'm telling her. Like, well, I think she's great. Oh, I think she's a bitch. And we got into the conversation because she knew that she would give me her opinion. And unless she said something good, that I was like, very interesting, Mom. Then I'll take heed to it. If not, I was like,
Boys often get to have that type of relationship with their moms.
don't you have it with your like father? Is it
To
the reverse?
no, not where I'm just telling him everything.
I think
Right?
that it's a little
Maybe, I don't
hard
know.
for girls to have that kind of relationship
Yeah.
with
You don't have to have
fathers.
sex talk.
No, because I feel like a lot of fathers, you grow up and they're like, no boys, like
Yeah.
schoolwork, books, or whatever. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like when you get to the age of actually getting to date, kind of like, damn, I can't talk to that man about boys because
Not that man.
Yeah.
you know, because he was very
It
like,
wasn't his nuts that made me. You're like
no, well, I'm just saying, like him specifically. Maybe you could talk to your uncle. Maybe your uncle wants to know, like,
not
you know, but your dad was always very specific about not wanting you to date or
Yeah.
not wanting you to be around boys. So it's just like kind of uncomfortable to be saying like, hey, dad, I have a boyfriend.
Did
and
you have it with
I
your
really
moms,
like
though?
him." I feel as I got older.
Because not that girl's mom.
Who, her mama?
No, the girl that wrote
Yeah,
her.
Well, I feel like maybe at one point she had to be comfortable enough to, you know, tell her mom she's bought four
Maybe the
four
mom's
it four?
boyfriends.
Is it
Yeah,
four?
she said
The
four
mom is probably
relationships.
overbearing. You know what I mean? And you have those moms who make their children their entire life and their entire identity. And so that's part of the problem too, because it's like, who are we dating?
Did I make that up?
And so
You might have.
That's what I
he's
was.
not good enough for us. You know what I mean?
I'm like, let me
4
go back.
months.
Part of the problem.
And 4 boyfriends at 26.
And it's like, you know,
Well,
I went
she
through
might have made that
this.
up. We don't
Okay,
know
the
that.
four
Go through
boyfriends
that?
is that's
she made,
Oh, you
she
made
just
it up.
throwing things in there. Like, right, she took the 4 months as 4 boyfriends. Wow. One of the moms upset.
sorry.
Well, she never said how many boyfriends.
Okay,
she
she just said every relationship.
Right.
I don't know how much relationships that was. Sorry.
Where'd
You need
that
more
four
detail,
come
girlfriend.
The 4 came from 4 months.
Oh.
That's how long she's been dating
Wow.
the new guy.
from? Oh.
Sorry.
She might have brought one man home.
No, she said every relationship. I think that's more
Yeah, I
than
think
one.
it's multiple
Okay.
at that point.
At least 2 prior
At least
to
2,
this
okay.
young man.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know what she finds in 4 months that she thinks that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't get a feeling. I'm just saying I would like to know what her feeling was.
It's just
I
chemistry.
think that it's very easy to fall in love in 4 months.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying I would like to hear what she didn't see in the other men that she brought home. And this guy for 4 months, she's like, he might be the one. Is it those Chanel bags he got you? I just want to know. I just want to know what it is. With a Chanel bag? I'm just saying, what is he showing up with? I'm just trying to figure it out. Like,
He's consistent. He shows up for me. And
Chanel
honestly,
bags.
I think he could be the one.
I'm gonna be honest. I think it's kind
Don't
of
lie to us.
shut up. I think it's easy to be consistent in the beginning because it's new. You want to see the person all the time. Like you enjoy their company. The vibe is great. So I won't say it's automatic, but it's just very easy to like make time and like rearrange your schedule and so on and so forth.
I think for a consistent 4 months, that's impressive.
Really?
To be honest.
Really? Time moves like this
Honestly.
now.
I know.
Like you blink and you like,
But
it's been 2 years?
I think that well, my therapist told me this
That's a
specifically
therapist.
that 3 months, after 3 months, a man's mask starts slipping.
A man's what?
Mask.
Oh, mask.
Not these
Oh.
sociopaths.
Now he becomes like Amadeus with half a mask for Phantom of the Opera. like, what do you mean?
No, well, whatever, he's trying to keep up the consistency, I don't want to say love bombing, but whatever he's doing to.
So he lacks integrity.
Well,
Okay, not necessarily, but I mean,
Because
he
if you
could.
if you be one way, you change. You have no integrity.
You could
can't
be
keep
a
up.
certain way to try to get the girl.
right.
Yes.
And 3 months in, you've got the girl. So now you don't have to try as hard. And
Yeah.
everything
That
that
makes
you've
sense.
been doing, you don't have
Does
to
it?
do anymore. Because she's hooked.
But when you say consistency and showing up, what do you mean by that? What is he showing up with? Flowers? He's taking her out.
Yeah.
He's buying her things.
just-
I don't
he's
think that
loving
means
her.
very like literal. You're saying like showing up with bags and showing
No,
up
no,
with
I'm
flowers,
joking.
showing up for her.
Yeah, what does that mean though? What does
What
that?
is
No. There's some girls that
What
okay.
issues
This is what.
having
Well,
that he
she
needs to
she
show up?
wasn't direct.
Showing up, when
Yeah.
typically people say showing up, that typically means I've had a challenge and you showed up.
Yeah.
I had a flat. No, I will tell you. Look, I had a flat tire. I couldn't call anybody, and I called you, and you showed up. I needed this moment, and you showed up. In dating,
So you're talking about support
that's typically
and
what that means. And I'm just trying to wonder, what do you got going on in 4 months that he consistently shows up?
She got 3 flats.
What do you got going on that he needs? No, that's not showing up. When someone means showing up, that means you are there for me
When I'm in need.
I need you.
Right.
That's what showing up
I think that's what
means.
showing up too. I'm just saying that there are some women that you could buy things for them and they think you're showing up.
Right.
And they
like-
start falling
I
in
don't
love with
really
you for
think
what
that it
you're,
has to be
what you're
anything
financially
crazy, though.
doing. You telling me
He
that's
can,
not going on
no.
here?
Well,
I can show you
Marie
1,000
said that
strippers that that's how they
something
think.
No, well, Marie is asking, what is she going through
Right.
in 4 months? And it
Right.
doesn't have to be anything like crazy dramatic. But if
Why you
she's
got so many
having
issues.
Well, that's
a
okay.
bad-
That's
if
ideal.
she's having a bad
I know a
day,
girl that you
maybe
know
she's
that had
struggling
those
at
kind of
work
issues
and she needs
that we
someone
all
to
know.
talk to. This is like her outlet. This is someone that she can
That
talk
has
to.
issues
He's
like that,
always
and it wasn't
showing
planned
up
issues.
for
I
me.
It's
know,
just
but
happened.
that's a
And
slippery
I showed up. They
slope.
didn't get me no way though, but I showed
4
up.
months. It's a very slippery slope for you to be like, he shows up for me. I'm having a hard day at work. Okay, he's like, babe, meet me. Let's have drinks. He showed up for me. I had a flat
Right.
tire. He showed up for
That's
me.
ideal.
Cool. That's fine. But you have to be mindful of the pattern that you're establishing in the relationship.
I think that we're taking the showing up like too
All right.
too
You know
serious.
what?
I mean,
I
the
don't
people
think so.
wouldn't want
I
to know
think-
what showing up is.
I think also
I think-
she's also comparing to her
Then
last
if-
experience, because if her last man wasn't available all the time, but this person's just listening, which is the bare minimum, that could be showing up for her. Like my
Maybe I
my
gotta
ex
stop
didn't
using
show up.
that phrase because I say that very loosely.
Well, but I think,
Showing up?
but
Yeah.
she said 2 different things. Didn't she say consistency and showing up?
yeah, she did.
Right. So I think by her saying both of those, that there's she's saying both of those because there's a distinction between the two, which is why I agree with what Marie's saying. Like the showing up is because, oh, I had a bad day. And he said, oh, well, let's just, go walk and you can talk it out or whatever. I'm there, I'm listening, X, Y, and Z. And the consistency part may be related to not canceling, or if you do cancel, it's done within a time that allows you to, change your
I think
plans.
that we
or-
are we're being hell bent on like putting situations to these phrases, but being consistent means he talks to me every day. He's putting in the effort to getting to know me and to, trying
Right.
to get a relationship going every day. He is showing me that he likes me
would've
and
been
then
fine.
wants a relationship with me. That is what consistency
problem
can mean.
is,
Mhm.
that would have been fine, but you have to read between the lines of, you have a dynamic with your mother that is for you toxic.
All right, therapist.
And so that's the thing that people don't understand. You got to go to the origin of what's going on. For you to be saying, hey, I don't know what's going on, but somehow my mother impacts my decision making and my relationships. However, I have this thing right now that it's kind of sacred to me and I want to try to protect it. Like, it's not your run of the mill, he's showing up for me. There's a pathology there that's happening. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, can you even spell that? What? Pathology?
I still agree with what I'm saying.
Of course you said it.
I disagree with what I
We're using university words now.
No, because Marie's explaining herself, and I could say, okay, I get where you're coming from. And even though I do get what you're coming from, I don't think that that's how she means it. I just don't.
Well, we're assuming how she means it.
I'm just going with what she says.
I can't think that none of these guys were available to some degree. Maybe out of 10 things, the new guy's there 8 times, the other guy maybe was there 6 times, and somebody else was there 4 times. But there had to be something. She gave ass to all of them. That means somebody showed up for something.
What's wrong with this man?
No, he's telling you the truth. He's literally telling you like how men will show up and
until
like,
then.
Because you got to show up somewhere to get the ass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to show up somehow. You got to knock on the door. And then she's got to open the legs at some point.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying. Metaphorically, this is what's happening here. Because if I'm not showing up at all, you're not giving me no time.
And the 3 months is just delayed post-nut clarity.
Maybe like work on the relationship with your mom and see what's going on there.
Yeah.
But that's separate.
No, it's not actually. Like
I
you
think
need to
that-
figure out that, because if you have a healthy relationship with your mom, you can set healthy boundaries with your mom. You don't have to keep secrets with your mom. You should be able to like figure out what's going on. Maybe you guys have a codependency, and
So
maybe
you
you're
mean
just
to tell
switching
me
it
she
up.
shouldn't be dating until she figures this out with her mom?
No,
Who said that?
Your word. No, I'm not saying don't
She
date.
said
I said
that.
she could do
What I'm
both.
saying is,
She never said you couldn't.
and
She literally
it's
just
going-
said,
it's
no.
gonna hit the fan eventually, because your mom really matters to you. Because you see what you said, it never really mattered to me what my mother thought. The fact that you feel like you have to hide your boyfriend from your
okay.
mom, eventually it's going to hit the fan. Whether you decide to get married, she's going to interfere with your marriage. And that's a bigger problem.
Ooh, child, yes.
I just want to say something real quick, though, when I said that it didn't really matter to me about what my
No, I
mother
know,
thought.
She said, because my mom might be watching.
No. I just want to say because my mother would never know the dickhead I was being. So she was judging her. You don't know why she's being the way she's being because of how I am. So you might see her, and as a mother, you're going to protect me and say, hey, fuck her. At the end of the day, I've been fucking her over, and you don't know that. So you're hating on her, not knowing what I'm doing. So that's why it kind of didn't matter to me.
But you have a healthy dynamic. Or that you see
Yes.
what I'm saying? It's fine. What I'm saying is you need to address what's going on with your relationship with your mom so that you can actually function in your other relationships without being worried about your mom. It's going to be a problem. Then you're going to have kids. It's going to be a problem. I'm telling you. Healthy
Alan,
boundaries.
you had to deal with this all your life, her sitting there and just analyzing. Let me tell you something, Alan.
I mean,
After she got the degree, not all his life.
Not before the. Okay, that's true.
And is there ever a point where she went to the mom and say, hey, what didn't you like about the other 3 boyfriends?
maybe.
Well, I would assume the mom just voiced it.
Right.
Like, because how else would she have known that the mom wasn't feeling him?
Right.
Yeah, but
I'm
was it?
sure she wasn't just saying, I don't like him and just left
But you
it
never
at
know.
that.
It may not have been an in-depth conversation because you don't know the relationship with her mother. She could have been like, oh, don't bring him around no more.
Ooh, harsh.
It all depends.
Yes, because you live with me.
That's what I'm saying. Don't keep bringing these dudes up in my house.
You got to figure out that dynamic going on.
Well, let me tell you something. And that's another thing because even my sister that's 10 months older than me, she always lived with my
You're
mom.
an Irish twin.
Shout out to us.
Oh, no,
So-
I'm not.
No, that's why I said shout out to us. You didn't even hear what I said. Shout out to us, me.
Him and his sister.
Me and my sister.
Oh, my
So,
mama's one.
One thing I will say though, my mother
Bless you.
was not honoring my sister correctly because she lived with her almost all her life. So when my sister was bringing men home and this and that, she felt like, like you don't really know what you're doing because you've been here all your life with me and this and that. So do you really know what you're doing, what you got going on and this and that? Because if you did, you would have been out on your own. You would have found a man that would have married you, took you out the fucking house and this and that. So she saw her different as opposed to me. I ran away at 16. I'm coming telling my mother all this shit. She said, well, I trust you because you left the nest. You know what you do. You seem to got it together. So when you tell me about this woman, I could sleep better. But with her, I'm not really
I don't
sleeping too
trust her
great.
judgment.
I'm telling you.
Wait, how old was your sister when she left?
She didn't leave. Actually, my mother passed away like a year and a half ago. My sister was always with my mom still. When my sister was 50. So that 30-year-old shit goes to 50.
Full circle.
Okay.
And there's a lack of dishonor there because you still need me. So I'm not really respecting what you really got to say.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know, but 50 ain't 30 though.
I mean, that's just 20 years too much fucking longer than 30. I'll tell you that much.
That's a good point. You should have brought that
Be
up
ready.
earlier.
Like,
With the quip.
That's right.
You should have brought that up. Just thinking about like, people staying at homes. It kind of made me think about the Keke Palmer thing with like, she said if she got married again.
I love Kiki.
I do too.
Me too.
Right? But she said if she got married again, or if she, I don't know.
She never been married.
Okay, so if
In
she
a
were
relationship.
to
You're just
be-
making things up.
if she was in like a long or partnership or whatever, long-term committed, whatever, that she would not want to share her space with that man. She'd rather they be together in a relationship, but they live near each other.
They live separate.
Yeah.
Mm.
What she gonna do? Move? Get the apartment next door?
Well, I mean,
Separate houses. It happens.
It's not really new. Like my grandparents didn't live together all their
I'm not having that.
marriage.
I mean,
And I
I'm not having
support
that. That only could fit a
I
certain amount of
support
time.
it.
actually, I support it too. My
Yeah.
grandparents still
Yeah, well.
married and they don't live together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
My grandpa got a new wife and they have 2 separate houses.
Yeah, see,
Whatever works.
They live 10 minutes
I mean,
away
they
from
got
each other.
married?
He be there sometimes, but he still got his
That's
own
part
house.
of the arrangement. Yeah.
So they got married. They married.
yeah,
I think it depends on the couple.
Yeah.
yeah.
For me,
But
no.
when they got married, they were living separately.
That's
And what my grandpa gonna do?
absolutely
Sell
no
the
with an
house?
exclamation.
Fuck no.
You said absolutely no?
Yeah, I can't do that. Yeah, I'm married to you, or even if you listen, I can understand if I'm dating you and you got your own place, and then we become boyfriend and girlfriend, that title, and you got your place for a little while. And once it becomes like a year passed by and all that going back and forth, and you spending 3 days here and 4 days here, and that's no. At some point, I want to wake up to you every day. I want to
3 days.
I want to breathe the air that you're breathing. No, it's what it is. I want to wake up to you. I need that. That's it.
Yeah, I
you
need
know what I'm
to be
saying?
able to go
This
like
is
this.
our home now. I don't give a fuck if you tell me. You could tell me, hey, well, we got to get a new apartment because I don't want to be. Even if she got that mindset, hey, I don't want to live here because you might have had 2 other relationships that were here, so we could move. And I tell you one thing: if you want to stay over here and all that, I find that very strange, and you're not the girl for me. So I'm gonna keep it fucking moving at this point. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
I
it's
find
not
that
for
very
me
strange.
either.
And my boy just went through something where he was living with his girl, and then she moved out, and they're still together. Oh no, bitch, you move out, and we're done. Like there's no moving out. And hey, I moved out, but I still want to be with you. Be with somebody else. Okay, do not be with me. You can't go backwards with me. You can't move in to move the fuck out. No, you move out. I'm gonna move somebody else in.
Can 2 people live together and then move out? Someone gets their own space and they still continue dating. It's definitely possible. I think that it's possible and it happens because people need their own space in relationships. I think that this is different when it comes to marriage, even though in marriages this happens sometimes, having separate spaces. Maybe not completely separate houses, but we hear about in marriages people having their like own rooms. Yeah.
Own room, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Because
that's my separate
people,
space.
yeah, people need their separate space. But I had a friend that literally happened to her, but she's from Spain. And she came here and she had her own space for a while, but then
Is she a model?
no,
Or
she's a
DJ?
singer. No, she's a
Oh.
singer.
She's a conqueror. She's a Spaniard. They
But
conquer.
she met a guy. She actually always knew him, but they got together. She moved in with him, and they were living together for majority of her first year here. And then she found a space because she was actually living with him and his mom, though. Not the ideal living
Yeah.
situation. So I guess
So
this
30?
is a little different. But this matters. She found a space. They didn't move out together. She moved out by herself.
Mm-hmm.
So he's still
the
living.
mother?
He's still, yeah. living with his mom.
Well, his mom.
His mom.
He didn't want to move out though.
It's not that he didn't. He probably didn't have the means to.
I mean, she had the finances to leave, and she didn't say, "Babe, come with me." Like, you broke ass motherfucker, stay with your moms. I'm out.
Yeah, but maybe he was helping support his mom though.
Yeah.
That could be true. We don't got all the info.
Or maybe the mom lives with him.
No. He was living with his mom, but she found a space and she moved out. But they were still dating, They went from living together to living separate,
Bitch.
and they were still dating, living apart.
Like I said, like
He's
I
a
think
simp.
there are people who do it. It works for them, and it's probably appropriate. For me, it wouldn't work. You know what I mean? For other people, that's your constitution. That's how you are, and it works. Do it.
Can we do like a off the cuff answer? So like whatever is your first, like we did the other day. So we know Marie.
Absolutely not.
He's a no.
Yeah.
I think I could do that. Can
Fuck
you do
no.
it? Okay.
I choose not to.
I can. Yes. Can I put a butt?
No.
No, what's with you in the butt? I never say butt. You use it all the time.
I can still date someone that I'm not living with, but I prefer this.
But what if you guys decide to be, whether it's marriage, commitment, partner, like
You're
this is
together.
it.
Yeah.
We're together. We're not breaking apart. Whatever you
Oh,
decide.
you heard what I said earlier this episode? I'm
What?
waiting to find my person so that we could go buy a house.
Oh.
So ain't none of that happen. Ain't none of that
How
happening.
about you, Ron?
Yeah, sign me up. Only because
Separate but equal. Isn't that in the social studies?
also, what about
Lies
that
be told.
that spark that spark and that enjoyment of like going to see someone and like taking the drive to see someone and like that effort and like being in their space and them being in your space.
We did that when
Get
we
a big
first started
house.
being with each other.
Get a what?
Get a big house.
Okay.
But not even that, bro. We did that when
So
we
then
started
if
seeing
we
each
break
other.
up, what happens to the big house?
Wait, are we married?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Then
If
it's
we
an
divorce,
asset.
what happens to the big house?
What
Sell it.
usually happens to an asset in a
or
divorce?
one of us can have an apartment, we can have a house, and that's it. You have the key. You're welcome. I'm welcome.
Come
No,
and go as you
listen. If it
please.
works, I
Yeah,
love
that's
it.
what I'm saying. I think we're so against like change, and it's clearly hasn't been working.
Listen, if it works,
Well,
for
we don't
you,
have the money to have a house and an apartment. I just feel like most people don't.
Apparently,
So-
she has something because she's leaving to go by herself.
You better take a nap.
So even if it's not different spaces, I will say that perhaps this has been going on for a while because again, you have like some of our parents had separate rooms, some of our grandparents, or I like when my aunt, her parents live next door to each other, like on the same street, literally next door.
Married.
Married.
In two different houses?
Mm-hmm.
Next door,
Yeah, next door.
Weird.
neighbors.
Yeah,
Well, unless they have, if they had like a, hold on.
a yard.
Like it connects it.
I think what's crazy is that I just feel like us men, we conform when we in love with a woman, we do conform. And this is why the man cave became very fucking important. Because if we buy a whole house, all we saying is, hey, I'm gonna take the basement and turn it into a man cave. You have the rest of the fucking house. Do whatever you want to do with the house. You got the 3 bedrooms, you got the 2 bathrooms up there, you got the kitchen, the living room, you could do whatever you want, paint it, color, whatever you want. I just got the man cave. That's not enough. Like, what the fuck else is enough?
You don't even have to do that. I don't know.
Mhm.
Like I'm not
It's
in your
enough.
face.
Like, we giving the
Yeah,
whole
that's
house.
not-
We
yeah.
just want the
Maybe
man
that's
cave.
because I'm not in your face. Like that's the
Yeah.
thing. I'm not in your face like that. You have your space, and I'm fortunate. I live in a decent size home where it's not an issue.
Yeah.
Like
Do
we
you?
can
I
go
don't
a
know.
day without
Have you
seeing
been
each
to-
other if that's the goal.
Just never invited.
Do you know?
Well, if we talk about that,
Oh, that's a little passive aggressive.
Yeah,
A little bit.
Amanda knows that's not true. But like,
I was never invited, so that's true.
hold on now.
Well, I would just say,
Anyway, the point is, I'm not gonna be, but that's my personality.
Mhm.
So it works out that we give each other space. Now, if you're someone who needs your space and you have a partner that always wants to be in your face,
Lingy.
you might be like, I need, you know what I mean? We might need separate homes.
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't need
What
to-
about like the sharing of like certain spaces? Like when we built our house,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Do y'all want like a double sink put together or separate?" I said,
Maybe one of the bathrooms. How many bathrooms you have?
One's about our
Your bedroom bathroom.
Yeah. Like our bathroom.
You don't want the double sink in there?
No, I want a separate sink.
Yeah, that's what she said. The double sink.
Right, the double sink.
Yeah.
Right. So you go
No, you know how they have double where it's like
a big counter.
You have it separate.
and then
it's
two. Yeah.
That's what you're talking about?
No.
What do you
I
want?
want my sink
over
separately.
there.
Yeah.
That's a big ass bathroom.
But what's
Yeah, I'm
what?
confused. You don't want to be like,
why do you want it away from
Yeah.
this sink
Because I
instead
know
of
my
like the
husband. Like,
What, he do
when
spits?
when we were in law school. Oh, when we were in law school, like our last, I ain't gonna say our last year, like I pretty much stayed at his house. I would go home to get my clothes, pay my rent. My cousin was my roommate, go talk to her. But like I really didn't live at my house like that. And so I know how he is. And so certain things I would just rather have my own little space. I kind of wish we had 2 separate toilet rooms, because I like things a certain way just in my space. That's
how many
all.
bathrooms you have in your house? You got to count. That's
Or she's
enough.
counting.
So you're complaining about shit. Just want to say, complaining about nothing. If you got multiple bathrooms, you have multiple spaces you could go to. If you don't want to hear how he uses his electric brush, go down the hallway to bathroom number 2 and use that fucking
But
bathroom.
why? Why can't we just make separate spaces?
Obviously,
apparently you
the
don't like
bedroom
it.
bathroom bathroom is going to be the most
it's
convenient and the most
accessible.
used.
Oh, well, you know what? Make a calendar say you can't use this shift at 7. I'm in there at 7.
That's not gonna work. But I'm just saying, like so the fact that I know that I like to have certain another thing, they were like, well, do y'all want y'all closets together? Because you can have like one big closet and then this side is here, this side is yours. I was like, nope,
Separate.
no. Because
Why did you build it like that?
I'd
For your
rather
comfort
as
now?
well.
Yeah, we built it the
So
way
you got the 2 separate sinks now?
2 separate sinks, 2 separate closets. Yeah.
All right, cool. So you good.
Because I don't want to walk into my closet and your shoes all over the place.
Exactly.
I want to.
Or your clothes next to the basket.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Because
Exactly.
the way I hang up my clothes very
systematically.
exactly,
Yes.
and I have the hangers a certain way.
Yep.
Listen, if I come in here and your side is just all out of
Tornado.
whack, it's just messing up my whole aesthetic.
Yep.
Looking at the closet, and I just can't do it.
Yep.
Go over there.
So now you breaking on him now and flipping out?
No, I don't have to flip out. That's why the system was created. You have
To
your
avoid.
That's why.
To avoid.
Yeah, it works out.
I fuck around, throw shit in there on purpose. Like,
Well, just think about this. Like, you shaving your mustache and stuff every few days, and you don't clean out the whole situation. And now I walk up there, and I'm like, fucking hair everywhere.
That's me.
That ain't gonna do nothing but just irk me
well, now that you got the separate sink, are you telling me?
no, I'm saying if we
That's
did
why
not,
she did it.
No, I don't know. That's what I'm asking. So now you got your sink here and his sink is there. And when you come into the bathroom this way and you look to it will be your right if you come from this way and you see a bunch of hair and clothes on the floor, is that still triggering you?
The hair on his sink doesn't bother me because I don't have to be over there.
I'm actually not gonna lie. It might. I'm just like I'm a very clean person,
Yes.
and yes, I could clean it myself, but I shouldn't have to. Like, why wouldn't
have
you?
to.
Why
See these
doesn't
words?
this bother you
Should.
as much as it bothers me? Why wouldn't this bother anybody else? Is my thought process. Do you hire anybody to clean your house? Yep. I would have to do that. Maybe.
And then
like,
sometimes I'm there when
every
she
other week.
comes and I be like, hey, I was like, that's his closet. I say, mine, you ain't
Throwing the
mine is
blame on
okay."
him. You see? Shadiness.
No, because like I might be like, oh, well, can you redo his closet? Like pick up all the stuff off the floor, put it on hangers, like all that kind of stuff. I would ask her to do it. And she'd be like, oh, well, do you need it for yours?
So
I'd
she'd be like, he's wearing these pants tomorrow or why he threw them there? I just want to know. I'm listening to,
But honestly, like that's the thing. How's she supposed to know they all on the floor?
she don't ask you?
I'd be like,
You
shit, I don't know
we
either.
both don't know. We both confused. It's a
Like, we
mystery.
both don't know.
Yeah.
It's a mystery. It's like Goonies. We don't know what the fuck is going on here.
But you understand what I'm like? Because I wanted to avoid those things. That's why I was like, give us separate sinks, separate closets. It would have been great if we did separate toilet rooms, But I mean, it's fine.
Well, maybe if I had like a man cave, I would reconsider. But I also just need like my own space.
I have a she shed.
I was about to say you do, but
Yeah.
does he have a man cave? Do you guys have a bar?
We have like a bar like in the dining room area.
What's a she shed?
Just like my own little space.
It's like
Where?
a female version of a man cave.
Is it like outside the
Like in
shed?
No,
mean-
it's
No, it's inside the house. Like when
it's like a hit.
Well, hold on. So
It's
he
like
don't
a
have a
hidden
man
room
cave, but you
for
got a
real.
she shed?
But I asked for that. Like
Like on some Anne Frank type shit.
it was like
not.
it is hidden.
So
You're
you
right.
could, yo, she controlled the whole house, and now she added a she shed. Oh man.
But Dave, no, Dave.
I said
That
it's not
area,
that hidden
that
door.
area was a storage,
Exactly.
and he asked me what I wanted for my birthday one year, and I was like, I want a she shed, my own little space.
Very zen.
Yeah,
He's very zen.
No,
The space.
The space
Oh, the
is very
space.
zen.
yeah. It's just I can close the door. Literally, no one would know I'm home.
It's
Like-
a hidden.
Yeah, it's hidden.
We've seen it.
Yeah,
It's a
speakeasy.
hidden. Yeah,
No,
it is.
essentially.
Yeah, speak easy.
But yeah,
So
but
you don't have a man cave?
I don't think that's what he desires. But I'm also like, when we're home, we could literally just be on different sides of
Yeah.
the house. It's rare that we just
I'm like
sit in
that
the room
too.
together. Like,
Does he like sports and all that stuff?
yeah.
You don't want a
You don't
man
have
cave?
to be in.
Like
each
I don't.
other's
I
face
mean,
all the
so we
time.
in our basement. Eventually, we would. We're gonna like. Was it finished? Not finished. Completed. You know,
Okay.
Well, if it's not done,
So you're gonna finish it.
yeah. No. Yeah. Eventually, we'll finish it.
Why were you
What?
so caught up on that word?
Yeah,
Are we
it's
gonna?
Because there's a word I
Finish,
can't remember.
complete?
But like, the thing is that
Well, it's not done.
if that's what he wants, and when we finish,
why can't you do that for him? That's a gift.
He
Without even
asked
saying
me.
that, create a man cave for him.
It may not be a thing for him.
Yeah.
Until she does it, he's like, yes, I was waiting for you to.
No, like
fucking-
I
she
made the
shed.
office really nice for him. Like,
Oh, he
for the
got an
most-
office. That helps.
But the thing is that I pretty much set it up to where we could both work in the office. He pretty much took it over.
Why you got to be involved in his shit? I'm very fucking confused here. You can have a
that's how
she
we-
shed. Hey, you got an office, but we can share the office. I don't want to share the
No.
toilet.
I
I mean,
I
an
don't want to share the
office
sink. But I
isn't
wanna,
the same thing as a she shed or a man cave.
It's not, but
Aaron works from home too.
yeah.
so why not she wants separate toilets?
Because that's
separate
not how we
fucking
built
sinks.
the
How about separate
house.
offices?
It's not how we. Honestly, if I knew that was going to be the case, I would have done that. But and I really do wish that I would have done that. That wasn't. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And honestly, he spends more time in the office than I do. And because I know that he likes his triple screen set up in the office and this, that, have at it. I will go work at the kitchen counter. I'm not tripping.
Nice of
So like you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I let him, but like I go ahead and give up.
Yeah,
that
she did say
space.
let him.
What?
I didn't say let. Oh, yeah, I meant yeah.
Are you looking at
Me?
Amanda?
You can wrap up if you want to. You have a mouth just like me.
I didn't say a word.
Ooh.
I'm literally listening
I
to the
know why you're
story.
looking at me.
Oh, so-
Anywho, I get having a separate space. I mean, I like living with my husband, but I can understand the challenges that living with somebody presents. It takes a while to get used to like sharing a space with somebody.
So you put something in the group chat the
Yeah.
other day, and I think that's what he's referring to. So we're just going to play the clip right now.
In fact, men are more likely to receive custody of their children if they ask for it. If men seek custody in a court in the United States of America, statistically, they are 90% likely to receive more custody or possibly even exactly what they were asking for. I would just say that women are not more likely to receive custody of children in court. Men are. Women just are the ones who more receive custody in court.
It's true. It's only 4%. Only 4% of men fight for custody of their children.
And when they do, it's successful 90% of the time. So that would tell me that court actually favors men. I understand that there's like kind of this anecdote that family court does in fact favor women, but it just so happens that women are more likely to want custody of their children. And that's where that mythology comes from.
I would disagree. You mentioned that men get custody when they ask for it. And that presumes that women don't have to ask for it. Why doesn't it begin equal and men not having to ask for custody if they are actually full parents, just
Sure.
like the mom?
Sure, that's a great question. I think it's really important that we have a conversation that our laws are written by men. Our courts are ruled by men. So if you have some concern about what a court presumes, well, that's a conversation to have with men too. They're the ones who wrote the laws.
I mean, it
Go ahead.
kind of, but she's also telling the truth.
I do agree with the lady that brought up the question about why are they not both presumed to want, 50% of custody, where they split custody? And I don't know if the courts just assume that the women want it for whatever reason, but I think she did have a valid question, like as to like why aren't men automatically assumed to want custody?
I think there's things to consider when you're talking about custody, especially residential and where the child is going to school. So typically when a divorce is occurring, the man will move out and not necessarily maintain the school district, right? And so you have to think about the one parent has to maintain residential custody. Sometimes you'll have the father and the mother staying in the same town, and then you could do 50-50 because you have to do a best interest of the child. So somebody has to have residential custody, for some stability.
Can you do, so you can't do 50-50 residential?
It's like best interest of the child, right? So you've had like extreme cases where a kid goes to school in 2 districts, and that's very,
At the same time?
Because it becomes like so volatile. The divorce is so bad. And then you have to do a best interest for the kid and say, hey, one parent has to have residential custody, and then you'll do every other weekend, or do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So sometimes you have that. And I think that's what makes a difference in who gets the kid.
Would it be assumed that if the man and woman break up, the woman would take the child with her?
Who's maintaining the home, the family home? Who's staying in the family home?
The 3 of them, but I'm saying...
Because typically who's leaving that center?
Well,
right?
no, how you said how the man usually leaves in a divorce,
right.
But I'm sure there's instances where the woman leaves, but she wants to take the child.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it depends. Is the man gonna fight?
Yeah.
For that, like if he's gonna be like, go ahead because now I'm free too. Do you see what I'm saying? If he fights for the kid, it's more likely the kid will remain in that home.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm looking at it as like the immediate, as you say, fight for the kid. Because if she is leaving with the child, then that also becomes, now he's got to call the police, and he's the aggressor, and he's loud.
You're talking about like the very beginning.
That's what I'm saying.
About, like filing with the courts. That's 2 different things. Yeah. Like in real time, there's a breakup happening, and the mom is like, I'm taking her and I'm leaving. The next morning, you can file motions and speak with an attorney and go to court, right? That's 2 different things.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I'm saying in the immediate, then I believe she would take the child.
Well, no. What happens is if she's threatening to take the kid, what happens is you're going to call the police.
Right.
Yeah,
right?
But then I understand that. But like as a man, like you are the aggressor because you're calling the police and you're loud and you're trying to stop them from taking trying to stop her from taking the child.
I don't think
it doesn't
it's that
usually
black
work
and
out.
white. You can't just say the man, I'm the aggressor and I'm stopping her from taking the child. Like there's so many variables to consider. Why is she taking the child? Is there a danger? Does she feel threatened? You know what I mean? When
That's all stuff that she can say in the moment.
I understand, but when the police intervene, hopefully they're going to be asking the right questions. It can't just be like, because I'm the man, I'm naturally the aggressor. It doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? And I think that's part of the challenge that we have in this society, and that we tell men that, right? And so they're like, I'm not going to call the police because automatically I'm going to be the one at fault. And that is not an accurate narrative that we want to reinforce. I understand there are cases where that occurs and they get kind of like amplified, but that's not necessarily the norm always.
Yeah.
I don't have no kids, so none of this is my problem.
Well, but did you grow up with both your parents in the house?
Whatever. None of this is my problem.
I mean, the only reason I asked that, Dave.
No. I didn't. My father left when I was 1.5, 2. Then my stepfather got in the picture, and that was a whole other nonsense. So, yeah, physical abuse and all kinds of dumb shit that happens when you're not the actual biological child of that person, and then you gotta look forward that this person loves you correctly. And I mean, he did a lot of good things, and still, I come to realize as I got older though, and came into my self-reflection of knowledge and stuff, that he went through a lot of things, and he was just lashing out of all the things that he went through when he was little, like I did, that made me run away and become the person I was. So it allowed me to forgive him, to say, hey, you went through something too, and you didn't know how to deal with it, and you just took it out on us because his biological daughter didn't experience what we experienced, me and my sisters. Yeah, so, I mean, he's dead now. I don't think it was more of a beating. I think he wanted to become something. From what I'm grasping, he wanted to be an actor. He was a good-looking man, and he couldn't be that. His parents were religious, so he had to settle and do the whole rat race and work 9 to 5, and he became like a doorman for all his life. And I guess maybe at some point he wasn't happy with that. Yeah, when you have a talent for something, you're deprived of your talent for whatever it is. So I think that we were getting the bitterness part of his,
Journey.
I think it's both, only because if you're gonna insert yourself into someone's life, you're like, I'm marrying this woman. She has, how many of y'all is it? You
total of us. Well, at that time, it was 4.
Plus his daughter,
including
just your mama's kids.
3.
All right, so it's
time.
Right, so it's 3 of y'all, and I think if you are gonna come into a situation and you're going to, obviously this woman has 3 children, you have to like come to the realization that like you will have to be the father figure, even if your dad was still around. Like you're living there with him, So I don't know. I feel what you're saying. I'm kind of torn because I understand like the trauma that he went through as a kid, and maybe that's why he treated y'all differently from his own kid. Well, how many did he have?
2. One with my mother that was living with us. He had a son from a previous.
And he didn't treat your sister that he had with your mom. He didn't treat her bad.
No, my younger sister, that was his. Not that I know of. She wasn't getting the bad end of the stick.
And she was the only girl too, right?
On his side, he had a son, an older son.
Yeah, I think those factors.
Let's not take away from like he took me to games, taught me how to play baseball. Like he did all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I guess there was some type of balance going on there. So was he a bad stepfather? Nah, I mean for me, maybe for my sisters would be different on their storyline. In my storyline, I mean, I was getting my ass whipped from my moms too. So it got to a point where we were getting ass whipped for shit that my sister would cry, and I would look at her and be like, "You're not used to this? Like, we're gonna fuck up again. This is gonna happen again. So know that we're gonna get our ass whipped again. So you better learn how to be tough and your skin like leather because we're gonna get fucked up again."
Did y'all get whoopings like where if one kid mess up, everybody getting a whooping?
No, but back then, your parents would warn you. They're pre-warned. When I get home, I'm gonna fuck you up. Or I'm gonna whip your ass or whatever it is. So we started throwing sweatpants. You start hooking your shit up to make the layers thicker. So when you're getting your ass kicked, it doesn't hurt as much. Shit. My sister used to sometimes pretend. I used to pretend cry at first, but then at some point, I stopped pretending. I wasn't like crying no more. My mother was like, "Oh, it doesn't hurt." And like, no, I'm used to it. Not that she was abusive. We were playing around. Like she said, stop. We didn't know how to stop.
Yeah.
I mean, I was cutting class. I was doing all kinds of.
She doesn't feel like you learned your lesson unless you're crying.
Very true.
I mean, once again, you never know
a joke?
What a parent,
That's
plus, I don't know what my mother was going through as well because she was working a lot. She was taking care of us. She was a cop at one point. Then before that, she was working in the hospital. Because I remember one time where we lived at, it was 3 bedrooms downstairs. So it was like my older sister had her own room. I had my own room. And then my youngest and my sister is 10 months older than me. They shared. And then my mother's room was upstairs. So one day when she was at work, we took all the bed sheets and we tied it up and we made like little castles, you know what I'm saying, to play maze, and we playing, and here come my mother like Godzilla. You know what I'm saying? She came home and, what are you doing? You messing up the sheets. I got to wash them, and tore it up and just started smacking us up because of it. And then when you think about it, you're like, I thought we were being creative.
Yeah.
I thought we were having fun. Like we thought of something and we manifested it. And we got our ass kicked for it. So at some point it puts some fear in you. You'd be like, maybe we shouldn't be visualizing the shit that we want to do because you might get an ass kicked for it.
Yeah.
Like, y'all better go sit down and do some worksheets. Something, do some schoolwork. Ain't no castles in this house.
You know?
I don't know. I get where your dad is coming from, because I realize that like my dad has a bit of trauma with that, simply because he was the oldest of 5, and then like when you're the oldest,
Your father was the oldest in his family.
of like the siblings, and it's like when you're the oldest, you don't get a childhood. You know, you are
The nurturer at that point.
even if you're the boy, you know, like you got to be responsible for the ones under you. You know, your mama come in the house and something is awry with the 2 younger ones. You be like, man, I told him. She be like, well, clearly you ain't tell him good enough. Go get the belt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that there's a level of trauma, especially like our parents' ages, boomers. They grew up differently. You know, I'm not saying it was right or wrong. Well, some was right and some was wrong, but they grew up just very differently. But I also will say that because of some of the trauma that my dad had, he was very like intent and conscious of how he was with me.
So my your stepfather or biological?
No, my daddy, my real daddy. Yeah. And so I also see the other side where it's like, and you said this, Alan, like, is it society or is it like you as a person making a choice to not raise your children differently or to not do something differently just because that was your trauma?
My father never hit us.
Okay.
I've never been hit in my life.
Oh no, I was different.
And I know a few reasons when
You
that
made
could
a
have been
face,
possible.
so I was like, what was the face?
She's like, huh? Sorry for you niggas. I got my ass whooped.
Right.
But when it comes to custody,
Almost on a daily.
when it comes to custody, my father, I don't know, he must have fought to some degree because he had us every weekend. So we would go to him every weekend, and then he moved to Puerto Rico, and then every summer we were flying, whether I liked it or not, I had to go to Puerto Rico. And that had its own trauma though, because going to Puerto Rico, you know, my grandparents, his parents were very religious. They were like Pentecostal, something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they were like going to church all the time, you know?
5 days a
Yeah,
week.
yeah. My grandmother never cut her hair. She never wore jewelry. She never wore pants. She was like strict on the book. And they was in the mountains, like they had like fincas, what they call like, you know, farms in the mountains in Puerto Rico. And I would love going over there. And because I was like, they got the pool, I'm hanging out and this and that. I don't have to go. We're with the cousins and all that. We don't got to go to church. And then they woke me up one Saturday and Sunday. They were like, hey, get up. We're going to church. I was like, in the mountains. Oh no, we built the church.
Church next door.
No, because they used to go to the mountains and build houses for each other. They were all like masons, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, you guys built a church up here? I can't. I was done. I was done. I'm telling you, I've been traumatized with religion.
That explains
That'll do it.
That explains it.
Pentecostal. It does explain.
It wasn't Pentecostal. My mother was Catholic. My father's brother was a Baptist priest. Like my cousin was a Christian pastor. It was like everybody was into something in Puerto Rico. And I was like, I can't get away from this.
Was your mom
weak?
You said your mom was Catholic.
Yeah, but she didn't really practice
Okay.
like that, you know.
Gotcha.
Dave said,
So there was just trauma.
church up here.
Yeah, like
Mountains.
who builds a church in the mountains?
I mean,
Like, he's still thinking about it. Like, look at his face.
Yeah, because I was like, I just want to play with my cousins. I'm on vacation.
that is true.
You are on vacation, for real. It's summer.
It's you off from school. You don't have your parents.
Like, leave me the
around.
house. You could have went to church. Just leave me the house.
I don't know. I would
That's
have.
eventually how I had to do my grandma. You just go. You go. You have a time. Girl, I'm going to be asleep.
How about you? How you both? You got your mother and father still like together?
They're married.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters?
Yeah.
How many?
I have 2 sisters.
Let's say no brothers.
No.
And you're not the oldest?
No, I'm the middle.
I was that for you. I was the middle at one point. How was that for you?
I'm very loved.
Both sides, right? From the oldest to the youngest. Meet you with the love in the middle.
You get less attention when you're the middle child.
I demand attention. I really I've never felt that. People say that about middle children all the time, and I don't understand that.
Alan gets a lot of attention.
He's in the middle?
Oh, lucky you.
But I'm like, I feel like I'm more like, I don't want to say animated. I'm very like,
you have a lot of personality.
yeah.
Like
Versus
your
my
sister?
other sisters.
Okay.
So it's like, it's hard not to pay attention to me. I'm telling you, pay attention to me. Like, and I've always wanted so much. So, Mom, I need this. Mom, I want this. Mom, like, me and my sisters, like, we played with dolls when we were kids, but I wanted the big Barbie dream house with the elevator, like, very specific things.
Did you get it, though?
I did. And I actually never wanted to throw it away. My mom made me throw it away when she felt like I was too. I stopped playing with it after a while. I was getting too old, but like even just the look of it, like I finally got this dollhouse that I wanted for forever. I never wanted to throw away. She made me though.
It's just too expensive.
I was the only one of my sisters that had a sweet 16. Actually, birthdays were my thing, so I always needed a big birthday. Even till this day, my mom's like, do you have to do anything? You don't always have to do anything for your birthday. And I'm just like, girl, you've known me for how long?
Not girl.
Yeah.
I actually do call my mom girl all the time. Like, girl, what are you talking about?
What's your mama name?
Michelle.
Well, on that note, thank you for joining us at 8 at the Table. You haven't seen me for a while, Disco
Thank
Dave.
you, Dave.
I'm fucking back here. You see me. You know me. All your shit in the comments. Click on all the YouTubes, the Instagram, the Twitter, the Twitch, all the shit that makes you bug out when you see 8 at the Table. Check us out. We here.
Oh, he been here
I only
before.
have to do the intro.
For real.
Disco Dave.
Disco Dave back like he never left.
For the Sages.
Okay.